to make, and you don't need to fear it. What they have for you is not for fear, it's for growth, it's for betterment. I've done some, but definitely am lacking. I haven't been on it like I was. Wait, somewhat. Oh, crows. You need to do a little bit more so that you get some more information and some more answers as to the whys that you have the questions about in your life, your line, and your family. The pause and reflect. The reason why I asked you, the crows eating the dead, like the dead is where you get the answers from, right? And you got to pick apart a little bit of the dead to see what we got back here. Why is the things the way that they are? Why was I the way that I am? Why were they the way that they were? Why were we taught these ways? Why did we learn these ways? Why weren't we taught what we were taught? Why were certain things hidden? You got to pick through them a little bit more to get their stories, to get a clearer understanding of some of the secrets and the questions that you have about your lineage. Yeah, don't be scared, baby. There's nothing for you to fear at this point. What can come up that you should be scared of? There's nothing that you've done wrong, right? There's nothing that you've done to impede or to intentionally harm someone else, right? You know that the answers that you're going to get from this are going to uncover some things that it's going to sting a little bit, because that's what life does. The answers sting, but you got to straighten your back and say, all right, I understand it. You got to look for the understanding of things. It's not to always point the finger to say, you did this, you did this, you did that, they did this, they did this, they did that, this is why. This is just to understand the mindset of the people that you come from, to understand what a lot of the plantation mentalities have caused for our people to hold on to and carry it forward generation after generation, and not even be cognizant of the fact that this is what we're passing down our line. You know, the constant battle of someone being better than the other, instead of us manning together as a unit to know that if we put our power together, it would be better for us as a whole, rather, and that the separation keeps us from banding our power together. And that's why the black people fight each other so much, because that's how we were raised to do, to go against the other, because if you lose, you die, and if you win, you get the prize, which is what, more food or something, to sleep in the house with the master or something like that. But in actuality, you were all still slaves. You know, it is recognizing that some things were carried forward in our DNA and in our ancestral lines that we don't even realize that these were the reasons why they raised us the way that they raised us. And it wasn't to any fault of their own. They just were put into this position, and unfortunately no one woke up to say, this is not right, I won't pass this forward. This is where you come in to say, it stops with me, right? Right, so you shouldn't be fearful. Knowing that you've been through it all, then you know that there's a strength in you that you don't give enough honor to. Because you're still here knowing you've been through it all. So what is it there for you to fear? You can't fear your own greatness. You can't fear your own progression. You can't fear what's to come for you, because what's there for us that we don't even see is far greater than the rations of things that we see. Because the things that we see are tangible. The blessings that we can receive from ours, that's for us, that we can't see, those things are innumerable. And I want that. These breaking the generational curses. Those before you feared the things that they feared because they didn't know. You went through the hard times already. What do I have to lose? Nothing. If you were able to come through all those things that you came through, and you still have not to this day lost yourself, Nothing in your future will cause for you to lose yourself if you're doing it from the right place. You give honor to your Ori. You give honor to your ancestors. You stand in light and spirit and truth and do everything under the permission of God, Olofi, Olodumare. You will be okay, my love. Don't be scared. Because fear is an energy that negativity breeds off of. Fear is an energy that keeps you hidden and keeps you back. It keeps you trapped. And fear is an energy that goodness can't eat from that. Oh, thank you, Bruni. So we don't give in to fear. Even in the times of the most tumultuous situations, even in the times of spiritual wars and battles, you know, I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh, I'm scared. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because if you weren't supposed to hear it, you wouldn't have heard it. They let you hear it for a reason. There's a warning in that. There's something in that to say, bitch, I need to turn some of this stuff on because I can hear that. Yeah, you can hear that. That means that there's gifts there. That means that there's protections there. That means that there's something there that allows you to hear that where the other people couldn't hear what you heard. You were put on high alert for a reason. You grab hold of that and say, what do I need to do to turn this amp up more? How do I get more? Where do I do more? How do I get my people to be more? I need to be more. You go for the more all times under the permission of God. With light and spirit and truth. Coming from a place of honesty, integrity, and of good character. You understand what I'm saying? When you're doing things from that place, everything that comes to you will be bountiful. No fear. We can be nervous. We cannot know what the unknown is, right? Because it's unknown. But the blind faith, the trust in your team, and to know that, and see, when you know you've done the work, and you know that you haven't been lax, and you know that you haven't been behind, and you know that you haven't been lenient and not doing what you said, and not word and your bond being of the same, and not of spirit and truth, and not of honor, and not you those people should fear. But if you're doing the right, from the right places, in the right times, would you have to fear? Greatness, yours? No. Don't even fear the response that the outside is going to give you, because at the end of the day, you have to answer to your spirit and your spirit alone. They don't care about what the human mouth said on the outside. I told you that this was for you, for your betterment. I need you to do that. They're not ready for that. You are. They're not going to get the blessings that come from this. You are. They're not designed to receive them because the hands can't hold them. But you can. You go for what's for you. And if they have a problem with it, then some people can't come. Everybody can't come. And it's okay. Some blessings can't come until you let go of some things, because you give stuff to people who didn't earn it nor deserve it. And now you dividing your blessings. And spirit be like, nah, son, that's not how I gave that to you. It wasn't for you to give that them. Separation sometimes is weak. But see, why? What was her relationship with her mother? How did her mother treat her? What was the negativity of, and what's the difference in age between you and your mother, and the time that you were born, and the time in her life that things were happening? You gotta dig. It's gonna hurt a little bit. I gotta tell you that. But it's gonna make sense. My thing with spirit is make it make sense for me. I need it to make sense. And when it makes sense, you get it, like, it don't take the pain away from what you felt, right? But it gives you an understanding of why she was the way she was. Who taught her to be like this? Why did she turn into this type of person? If she was given the proper love, the rearing, the guidance, the embrace, the way that a child, a young adult, a person is supposed to receive, then she would not be the type of person that she is today. She never was able to get out of her own way and learn from these things. You are the one to break it here and now. So you got to plant your feet and you got to straighten your back when you get the answers as to hear the horrible ways that she was treated and the things that happened to her and the people that did not listen to her. Because all she knows is negative. A lot of our elders learn from us doing the work ourselves, and when they witness what we've been able to accomplish, it sometimes helps to bring them around. Your mother's in pain. It comes off as how it comes off, but she's in pain. She's in a lot of pain. And she's in a lot of pain from a lot of things that she wasn't able to say and that people never heard her. You carry a lot of that pain too. So you have to separate your pain from her pain so that you can work through yours. You got to do a lot of spiritual cleansings. You have to do a lot of spiritual cleansings. You got to keep yourself uplifted in prayer. I would say to go to a Catholic church and do an intention-based mass for your line, your family line, because there's a lot of pain there. And they need to be lifted. They need to be lifted in prayer. And they need a little bit more. So when you may need to do a few of those intention masses at the churches for your line. And I need you to have a lot more happier music playing around your house. I need you to do a lot more happy things for yourself. I need you to get on a swing in a park and just swing. Like a kid. That kind of innocent joys. I need you to have that kind of stuff in your life again so that you don't feel like this, because this is you that I'm feeling right now, and it's a lot, and you can't flourish in this type of space. This is heavy. You can't live like that no more, baby. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. Listen, I come from a family that comes from pain, feel me? So I understand pain, but I understand that the strength that it comes from those who've endured pain, right? You have those that said, I ain't gonna break, I'm not gonna crack, some of them have that aggressive demeanor because they required it for their survival. So you got some survivors back there. You know what I'm saying? You hold on to that strength and you realize that with these ancestors, a lot of times when they pass, everybody has to stand up in front of Olodumare, Olofi, God, whoever you call that Most High Power, and explain even your Egbe, your spiritual family, and explain why did you do the things that you do? Why didn't you do the things you were supposed to do? Why did you got to answer for everything, right? it is a clearing time and a place and space where spirit now is, this human thing is not there anymore. There's no blinders. There's nothing that blocks their vision. That pain is not there anymore that overrides the reality of the reactions that they had, that overrides the reality of what they caused, right? The cause and effect is clear. Everything becomes crystal clear. So they come back to help us to try to get through this shit because they understand that they played a role in this. And they're sorry for it. They didn't mean it. But they didn't know any better. So this is why they fight so hard for us now in the living to get us through this shit. Because if they could have helped us then, they would have. They wasn't there. They wasn't there. They were stuck in survival mode. That's where they was at. That's all they knew. If I step outside of this, I don't know what's going to happen to me. When they pass, that stuff is not there. Us, still here in the flesh, we have the opportunity to do it now. Before we waste any more time and have to be like them and leave it to our children to fix it. No, it's for us to do. That's why we're here. I felt like trying to help a wounded lion. Not easy, but doable. I appreciate this most. Thank you. You're welcome, my love. I felt like trying to help a wounded lion. How were you trying to help a wounded lion, baby? What you mean? What does that mean? I don't understand what you mean by that. Do it in life. Like a real lion? Cool, what you talking about? What? Thank you. Listen. Hey, Joey. A wounded lion. Oh. I don't know what you mean by that, Cool Waters, but I know that you have to learn when dealing with the work it takes to heal. Oh, yeah. It gets heavy. It gets a lot, right? And when these band-aids start getting ripped off, and you start looking at your people, it's like, oh, my people. And then you feel bad for some of them because it's like, yo, this whole shit it's been messed up. It's messed up. And then it made me go harder. It made me go stronger. It made me want more to honor the fact that I was the one that was able to step out because I knew they had me behind. I had them behind me. I knew that they were pushing me forward and lifting me in those times and in those moments. You know what I'm saying? I knew that I wasn't by myself. I wasn't doing it by myself, and I wasn't doing it for nothing. And what I was doing was being recognized for them because they were elevating and they were growing and they were becoming stronger and they were being able to honor their spirits and do the things that they weren't able to do for me in life in spirit, hand, 10 toes down. And I had nothing but glory and honor and respect and admiration and gratitude and love and compassion for those that were just not the best people in this earth. But now I know why. So I had to offer some kind of compassion in my mentality for them. Because if it was me, I don't think I would have been able to survive what they survived. Feel me? They did that. They held the line. Because I probably would have jumped off the boat like, fuck this. I'll see y'all in the next life. Like, I'm not doing this. Y'all not taking me over there. I'm not doing none of that. Yeah, man, y'all, here I come. Facts. That's me. I'm out. I'm not doing that. Y'all not gonna, no. Or locum, where I'm at. Come get me. I'll try this again in the next life. I guess I'll see you next lifetime, like Erykah Badu said. But they went through that. You know what I'm saying? We, as humans, have a problem with people, right? But if you know that person's story, you would never have been able to survive what they survived to get to where they are. Your story is a different story. I may not have been able to survive what you survived to get to where you are. We have to honor everybody where they stand if they're doing something from a good place, right? If they're trying to be of an asset. If they're trying to do good for their communities, for their people, for their lineage, for their loved ones, for humanity, for earth, right? For spirit. Even if it's just for themselves, that means that they're going outside not being an asshole to anybody. I can deal with people like that. You don't got to help nobody in the spiritual community as long as you're being good. Your energy doesn't offend, affect, or do anything in a negative way to anybody else. I'm rocking with you all day. You don't have to be nothing spiritual that you know of. But I see a good person. I see a good energy. I see someone who's just trying to be the best that they can in life. You good money. And even though you may not, those people don't do ancestral work and do spiritual work or any of that other kind of stuff, they're still good people. So they got people behind them, even though that they don't acknowledge them, they're still there because from their unit, from their center, they're giving out and radiating a good vibration. So they're going to be blessed at all times. You're very welcome. Thank y'all all for your energy that y'all come here to listen to me rant and to give some messages and to try to help you get some clarity, you know, and to try to help you guys to feel just a little bit more sound in your footing, to know that sometimes it takes patience, sometimes it takes years for development, sometimes it takes years to obtain what you think you're supposed to have, but you got to look at the little things that you're receiving in the interim. And even if it's the smallest of things, even if I get the smallest of something from spirit, I act like it's the biggest thing underneath the sun. You know why? Because they didn't have to give me just any, they didn't have to do none of that. They didn't have to. I'm gracious. And I'm honored that they chose me. That honor that they chose me makes me want to be a better person. Makes me want to not be toxic. Makes me want to do everything that I can to receive all of what they have for me with no barriers on it. With no, I don't want no restrictions on my stuff. I want them to give me what's honestly meant for me without them having to say, okay, now I can't give her everything because she ain't right. No, I want them to look at me and say, she is right. She's ready for this, and shower all my blessings on me. Give it to me. I'm ready for it. I'm not going to fuck up what you gave me. I'm not going to fuck up the bag. I'm not going to mess it up. None of it.